What's going on, everybody? Welcome to your weekly tarot for the week of November 22nd through the 28th of 2021. Truly appreciate you as always. Thanks for tuning in. Let's see what the tarot has in store for the week. Hope it's good. Definitely sending you all my best, putting some good intention into these cards for us. Gonna use the Botticelli, the Black Moon Astrology Oracle, and the Astro Dice per usual. Kind of my get down, except I switch it up with the deck. I'm just feeling my Botticelli deck these days. All right. What do we got? The Knight of Wands in reverse to illuminate this reading. I guess, we gotta kind of take a step back, make sure that we're really moving in the direction that we want to create, moving in a direction that our heart is into. Maybe we're double checking some things. I don't know. Maybe it's just not time to rush off to save the day. Maybe we got to reevaluate and not just get super heady this week, but check in with your heart. Like, does your heart want you to keep pushing forward? Do you feel strong? Do you feel good? Tune into your heart energy this week. Especially with the sun here getting the Knight of Wands. Don't just jump into anything unless your heart's fully in it. I think that's kind of where we're going with that. The moon gets the Queen of Swords upright. Woo! Emotionally, we get to be kind of a cold hard bitch, if you will. Like, shit. Just define what makes you feel good by, like, if it makes you feel good or not. Like, don't mess around. If you don't feel good about something, or it doesn't feel good within your heart, getting that Knight of Wands in reverse, like, don't do it. Like, make smart decisions that are cutting through the bullshit. Trust your gut, trust your heart, do those things, and you'll be just fine. You're going to sit on a nice throne here. You're going to sit on a nice, like, clear path of the direction that you want to go this week, but you really want to tune into your gut on the matter, your intuition, your subconscious, there's no bullshit with the Queen of Wands. Like, kind of want to be cold to stuff if it doesn't feel right, and have good mental clarity, and that mental clarity probably will come through your, like, senses more than just your mind. Of course, that's going to be one of the senses. It's kind of that thinking, that mental, but, like, getting in with the moon here, it's very like Aquarius moon, like I have. Like, don't just connect to anything if it doesn't feel right. Like, detach from the stuff, even if people might think you're cold. Like, don't jump into stuff if you're not fully in it and invested emotionally. So trust that. Mars is getting the Knight of Pentacles upright. Lots of Knight energy. Mars is definitely ready to move forward with values this week, though. Like, identify with what you really want. Like, maybe it's not as fast. Maybe we are slowing down a little with the Knight of Wands reversed. But it's like there's still, like, a steady progression forward for the things that you really desire. And it's like, go towards those. Maybe be cold to the aspects of life that aren't giving you that. So it's like, keep a steady pace, kind of define your direction on how it makes you feel and what the value is behind it. And if the value's there, it, and that's where you're going to slice through life, is going towards that value and keeping that steady pace towards that. Mercury got the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. I feel like, Mercury's coming into detriment this week in Sagittarius and with the South Node. We can feel like there's no fortune, or we can maybe feel like a little lost, and we got to get back to our personal life and our personal desires and our environment, and I think that's where the fortune is. So, like, we really want to, with Mercury dispositing the North Node in its polarity and opposing this Mercury this week, a little astrology for this reading for the tarot, but I think it's relevant for this card because it's like we got to take risks and move forward in life right now, but we can also get lost in the outer scheme of things, or have some, like, sense of this mental, I don't know, even though our moon here and our emotions is like, no, don't overthink things. Like, don't overthink what's going to bring you goodness in life, or don't overcalculate too much that you're not willing to risk something for the greater value. So, like, remember take calculated risk based off the emotion behind it and based off of the heart of the matter. Like, what is that telling you? Pay attention to that. And I think you'll find that there are gifts and big kind of aha understanding moments. But I don't know. We can feel like this wheel of life is just not turning in the direction that we want. And that would be some like mental detriment, if you will. So we kind of got to shift that and be like, yeah, the wheel of life is always turning. And I kind of want to play that game because I'm here. So like, let's see what's out there. Maybe fortune's out there. Well, we won't know if we don't take the risk, and we won't know if we're too stuck in a mental belief and not willing to pivot for it. Venus got the strength card upright. Yeah, it's going to feel so good when we're in our strength this week, and if we're relating to other people that are in strength too, and know their worth and know their value and are moving towards their goals. So I think that this is where there's a lot of heart. Like, the heart is what's going to make you feel the best. Is if your heart's in it, it's in it. If it's not in it, it's not in it. And the Knight of Wands is signaling that in reverse too for the Sun. Like, you just got to have courage to define on what feels good for you and what doesn't. And why put your energy into things that don't feel good? Like, this is finding strength in strong emotional decisions that are going to bring you value, moving towards those almost like methodically. And they might have a risk involved this week. So like, be open to taking a risk and not overthinking it, but trusting your gut on the matter and your intuition and your heart. If you love it, you love it. Give it a shot. Give it a go. Spin the wheel. And maybe that takes a little courage. And maybe it's that courage that actually gives you the return and gives you maybe the manifestation you were looking for, because you had the courage to at least give it a shot. At least give it a go. Get your toes wet, if you will. Jupiter got the Two of Wands upright. I think that's great. In traditional tarot, it's usually holding a crystal ball, right? And kind of like looking out. So it's like this decision to expand and grow and realizing that we do have the world in our hands. Well, also, when I look at this card, like, I feel like, she's kind of, it looks like she's dancing to me, kind of like moseying along. Like, I think we want to find abundance in sort of the decisions that can open everything up and that, do show us that we have the ability to manifest, and like, we are here to create, and we have, our world in our hands without looking too far out into what the world's doing in that show. But like, realizing if you come back to your environment, your personal world, what are the options at your disposal to create right now? And are you willing to take a risk mentally to try something that might involve a little courage, that could be one of the best decisions you ever made for your enjoyment, your happiness, your abundance? And we got the Eight of Wands upright for Saturn. I love this reading. I feel like there's so much, like, it's time to move. Even Saturn here is like, are you really going to restrict yourself from the things that bring you the most love, that are exciting, that you can move fast towards right now and make a call to manifest? Are you really going to do that to yourself? Are you not going to have the strength to trust your heart? Are you not going to move towards the love? Like, this is where we're in Sag season this week. Like, let's go see where things can open up to. Let's go move in a direction that we can be creative, that lights us up, that maybe brings love in. Although with the astrology, it's hard with a Venus shadow and, so much South Node. Like, there's karmic situations right now. And maybe Saturn's saying, hey, really trust your intuition on the matter before moving too fast, with the Knight of Wands in reverse. So it's a little bit of both. It's like, are you really going to, just block yourself and be too scared to make a risk mentally, or take a risk mentally, while simultaneously, are you being responsible in your fast movement? Did you really check in with your heart? So it goes both ways, depending on who you are and where you're at in your life right now. You want to either push the limits and move towards what your heart really wants and have the strength to do it, or it's having the strength to know that you've done that before and it doesn't match up with your values and your heart right now. And instead of just jumping in or being impulsive, really being responsible for your boundaries and your self-worth. And Pluto, our transformation card, is the Ten of Wands in reverse. I feel like we got that last week. Kind of interesting. Yeah, it's just kind of like the top goals and priorities that maybe we always thought we knew, like again, like I feel like they're kind of in a place of shifting and turning, and we want to be open to what the new accolades that this world has to offer. Like maybe they're not the exact same, but maybe if we kind of move methodically towards what those values are that we've grown into now, or what really lights us up, or what brings us strength in life, and maybe taking a risk for something completely different. Like even the Two of Wands with Jupiter is kind of like choicey. Like we get to make a choice here, and maybe trusting the heart actually this week brings the most physical value, whether it's money or, you know, it doesn't always have to be money, but just like physical life, stuff that you might want, that you might be trying to manifest. So that could be transforming, and maybe it's transforming into something that will blow your mind and like really, I guess show you that there's still, happiness in this world, even if it wasn't what maybe we always believed that ultimate sort of thing would be in life. I'm going to cut this deck a couple times and then pull. I shuffled it a bunch before the reading. Jupiter return benefits. That's what I'm saying. I keep feeling that. Like, this is a beneficial week. There's like some really, positive things that can show up in our life. The Jupiter return, though, it isn't like always just like, oh, the benefit. Like, it's kind of like it's a cycle ending and a new cycle beginning. And we have to remember that what maybe brought us benefits in the past, or what we thought was the ultimate, like maybe that belief is changing, so that we can kind of open up to a whole new set of what abundance can be and what benefits can be in our life. Because who knows? I feel like sky's the limit right now in your personal life. If you're willing to choose that route, take a risk for it. I think whatever it is that your heart's into and that is kind of cutting through the bullshit in life, like that's something that can totally show up. And the Astro Dice, we got a Venus in Virgo second house. Second house kind of picks that falled out Venus up, but I would say we do need to be a little picky here about what it is we are trying to create and manifest, and like make sure that we do a little bit of analyzing about it. Maybe it's not just the quick jump in. Like this is saying, hey, is it the shit or not? Is it gonna be what you want or not? And that's what you want now. Like in this transformation that you've gone through, what is it now that you want to clean up and get into order? And are you willing to kind of get your hands dirty for it? And that's why Venus doesn't really like Virgo, because Venus, the goddess, kind of has to put some work in and kind of move some things around. Like the servant's not here to do it, but Venus is in the second house, and she knows her value in this moment for this week. So your creative energy definitely knows what it wants, but it's about getting your hands dirty and taking a risk for that. And maybe not literally getting your hands dirty, but like putting in at least the emotion behind it that can attract in what you want. But actually it may literally have to do with you doing something in your daily life to attract in more of what you really want, and not just like shying away from that, because the benefits actually right behind that little bit of work, and it might bring in some love and some strength and some really, some really positive energy. I like this reading a lot. I hope that it brings you the benefit that you were looking for, and hope it comes true that everyone who watches this gets some amazing benefits. There might be a little bit of work, but it's like that little bit of methodical work and progression for what you really want this week might have a bigger payout than maybe you ever thought. I love you all very much. I hope you have a beautiful week, and I will see you next time. Peace.